Congress, you must know. Cuts to benefits got to go. Congress, you must know.
That cuts and benefits got to go. Congress, you must know. That cuts and benefits got to go. Congress, you must know. That cuts and benefits got to go. Congress, you must know. That cuts and benefits got to go. Congress, you must know. That cuts and benefits got to go. Congress, you must know. That cuts and benefits got to go.
And your name, sir?
My name is Reverend Keith Bale.
And Reverend, why are you here tonight?
I'm here because I am a victim of unemployment, and I know how it feels, and I know how it feels not to have and to have. And all these years my life, I have always worked 2 or 3 jobs, never realized what it is without having a job.
And are you located in Baltimore City?
Yes, I am one of the assistants. I'm assistant to the pastor at Greater Bethesda Baptist Church.
And is this in West Baltimore?
2000 Fulton Avenue, North Fulton Avenue.
Are you also finding, Reverend, that there are many of your parishioners are in the same boat?
Yes, there's a lot of people that's in the same boat that's looking for a job, and a lot of these jobs are part-time, just for holidays, and you have to worry about where you're going to live or where you're going to stay afterwards. You know, a part-time job does not help a person who have their own home, their own mortgage, and their bills are high, you know, and they just can't work those hours that they have for them to work 2 and 3 days a week. You know, it's not going to work. And if we could build other places in this city, and I look towards our Congress people and people in high offices, they ought to come out here, and I think they should walk with us to get what we need.
So, you know what happened on Wall Street? They had a problem and they got bailed out.
Yes.
So what's happening to the people? Are they going to bail out the people, the working class people?
Well, through Christ, through God, everything's possible. But I think what it is, for the working class people, I think there's too much to the rich, and they forget about the poor. I think that's the biggest problem in this whole United States.
So if you have a message right now to the Congress, what would you tell them to do?
If I had a message to Congress today, I would tell them to just look beyond their faults and see our needs.
Thank you, Reverend.
All right.
God bless you. Your name, sir?
Leo W. Burroughs, Jr.
Why is it important for you to be here tonight, Leo?
Well, I'm a community activist. I chair several organizations, the Committee for the Restoration of the Cost of Living Adjustment, the Maryland Coalition for BG&E re-regulation. We're activists fighting for justice for working people and poor people, and it's important that we identify with Sharon Black and her son and others in this movement, because the state of Maryland as well as the federal government have an obligation to create jobs as well as ensuring unemployment compensation for working people, and they're not doing it. They've fallen down on the job. The governor should be here. Barbara Mikulski should be here. Ben Cardin should be here. Elijah Cummings should be here. The state legislators should be here. They should be visible and vocal in their support of ensuring that unemployment benefits are extended for the hundreds of thousands of people. There are more than 15,000 people in this city alone who are going to be cut off. And more than 2 million people throughout the country will not receive their unemployment extensions. We think that's outrageous. We think that there needs to be a firewall of resistance on the part of working people and poor people to this kind of malicious and nefarious conduct on the part of our public officials and those who say they lead us but who turned out to be misleaders. We need justice. We need fair play. And obviously, that has not come forth at this juncture. So we've got to stay the course, and we've got to keep fighting so that justice rolls down like a mighty stream, in the words of Martin Luther King Jr. Justice, justice has to be the underpinning by which our country works and operates and functions. And so far, we're looking at a situation in which injustice is allowed to flourish, and too many of our leaders, whether they be church leaders or politicians, are silent, and we've got to do something about it. So we're trying to rally the troops.
Okay. Thanks so much, Leo.
God bless.
And God bless you, sir.
Now, none of this has to happen. None of it. There is so much money in this country that the wealthiest people in this country don't know what to do with it.
That's right.
They're gambling it.
That's right.
They're gambling it on the stock market. They're gambling it on mortgages. They're gambling it on playing around in the money markets. Right here in the state of Maryland, millions of dollars are being handed over to developers and to big corporations in this state, simply to boost their profits. They are talking about redeveloping this very complex of state buildings that we're in the middle of. The state is giving big subsidies to the developer of this complex, the redeveloper of this complex. Millions of dollars. Not only that, they're actually proposing to sell these buildings to private developers.
Privatize it.
They are
Privatize
talking
it.
about starting the redevelopment of this complex with the construction of a new building on the parking lot down here at the corner of Utah and Preston, between Preston here and Martin Luther King. Okay, they are proposing, once this building is built, owned by a private company, to pay to rent over 500,000 feet of office space in that building. 500,000 square feet of office space in that building at a rate that is equal to some of the highest rates paid for office space at the Inner Harbor. That money, all these benefits that are being cut, they could be maintained and expanded, improved, not just maintained, improved, if they took that money that they are forking over to these developers and corporations and used it instead for the needs of ordinary people in this state. Ordinary people in this state and in this city. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that, and they won't do it unless we force them to. Because that's who they serve. They serve these developers and corporations and wealthy people in the state. And if we are going to change that, we are going to have to force them to stop taking money out of our pockets, cutting benefits, taking the money that they save from cutting those benefits, contracting out state services, and take that money and use it for the things that ordinary people need in this state. And they are continuing that process right now as we stand here. This is going forward. They are supposed to break ground on that parking lot for that new building within the next month or two. That's just one example. Just one. There are many examples like that in this state right now.
When are they going to break? When are they going to break ground? Do we call a demonstration and have a whole bunch of people show up?
In
and
the next month or
disrupt the
two,
goddamn
they say
thing?
they will break ground to start that building. Now, you know, I'm glad, I'm happy to see people out here. You know, I had a voicemail message for me waiting on my phone this morning at work saying that this was going to be here. I came out on my way out. And I'm really happy to see people here, and I'm happy that I was able to join you for at least a few minutes.
We had a phone, a call. We have every type of technology known to man now, and I think we have a real responsibility to send information out, be it email, be it website, be it every type of technology we can, because other urban areas are facing the same thing that we are. If people are going to lose their benefits, if those that we have elected to do the right thing won't do the right thing. Now, we're fortunate so far. What we've heard so far is that at least the majority of our congresspeople and senators in the state of Maryland are for it, but unless they fight, unless they know that they have us behind them, then their fight may not be the fight that it really needs to take to the Congress and to the Senate. I think from this point on, we have to look at what's going to happen to our family members, to our friends, for those that we see walking across the streets every day. You can't be in Baltimore City and not see folks that are suffering. And we can't imagine how much more suffering there's going to be to imagine 15,000 to 20,000 people just in this state alone. And when we talk about this state, we know what's going to get hit first. It's going to be Baltimore City. It hit the hardest. We have to do everything that we can from this point on to send out the word all over the country that these benefits must be extended. I'm very happy I heard from Congressman Cummings. He's definitely with us. But we need to push him like we need to push all of the congresspeople, all the senators. We can't assume that any of them are with us until we see their faces, until we see their voices screaming out that these benefits must be extended. So I'm saying that the fight's got to be from here on. We can't think about a holiday. No, this is an awful thing to happen. This is a crisis here in America, and a crisis here in Maryland, more especially a crisis here in Baltimore City. And I'm challenging every leader who thinks that he's a leader or she's a leader. They must come to the forefront and fight for extended benefits. Thank you.
The benefits got to go. Congress, you must know that cuts to benefits got to go. Congress, you must know that cuts to benefits got to go. Congress, you must know that cuts to benefits got to go.
And with Sharon Black. Sharon, what's the importance of tonight's rally? What is it you're trying to do?
There's a lot of different importance to what we're doing, but I think one of the major reasons is to show support for the jobless. So people know that the people who are unemployed that are facing these cuts are not alone right now. And we need to get active and back out in the streets. And people that were out here tonight are both those who are affected by the cuts, or a number of people came out who are going to lose their benefits at the end of the month, but also, as I said, those of us supporting the jobless. I mean, along with demanding extensions on unemployment, we're fighting for a WPA-style Works Progress Administration jobs program. I mean, that's one of our major demands. We're demanding emergency action, meaning moratorium on foreclosures, evictions, utility shutoffs. So,
yes,
that's okay. So, there's a number of things that we're out here for today, but mostly it's to respond to Congress not acting, and to respond to the fact that 2 million people in this country are going to lose their unemployment benefits, and that's the major issue.
And a lot of them, not a lot of them, but a significant amount are in Baltimore City.
Yeah,
as you pointed out in one of your remarks.
In terms of Maryland, the largest number of unemployed are both in Baltimore City and in PG County, Prince George's County. So the unemployment rate here is 14 to 16% officially. And for African American youth, it's more like 50%. And some young people have never even had a job and never will have the opportunity to be able to work at this rate with the so-called jobless recovery. So a lot of people here in our city, Baltimore, are impacted by this. We've been meeting people as we've gone door to door, folks that are so upset, they're going to have no money for Christmas, they're going to lose their apartment, their home. It's going to be a rough time, and Congress is fiddling around, and they're not come to the point where they're acting to enforce these extensions.
Okay, thanks so much, Sharon. Keep up the good work.
You too.
Okay.